Yeah, hi guys. So I I thought I'd show you this in case maybe you hadn't thought of it. So when I bathe or shower, I usually just use a bar of soap in my hands. And one thing I've been finding lately is that one way to hold the bar would be with the broad face against wherever I'm washing. But I found sometimes that somehow the soap kind of chafes on my skin, and I do better sometimes when I hold the edge. So I don't know if you've had that experience, and I don't know if you thought of holding the edge. I think the more obvious thing would be to hold the broad face, because then it would seem like it'd be quicker because you'd be getting soap on a bigger area. But for me, it can be more comfortable to soap with the edge, because actually it goes pretty quick anyway, but it's less, since it's touching less. When I say chafe, I don't mean there's anything wrong with the soap. It's pretty smooth, and my skin's pretty smooth, but neither one is perfectly smooth, even if you go down to a very small level. I mean, if you go down to a very small level, probably neither one is perfectly smooth. And so there's just a little bit of chafe, of natural chafe. It may be because I'm older. Maybe my skin is a bit rougher than for younger people, because I don't recall this as a younger person. I've particularly seen that this chafing I talk about happens when I soap my legs. So when I'm going down, especially the lower leg, but even the upper leg. So when I'm going down, I hope this is in camera. I'm going down with the edge of the bar, and I'm actually even doing that often when I wash my feet with the edge. And I'll tell you, sometimes now, I've just started doing this, but sometimes if I haven't picked up the bar, if I've soaped up, I don't know. I'm going to watch. I'll probably make another video, but there's something where maybe I, for some reason, have put the bar up so I don't even want to get it, and I'll take my fingernails and soap the lower legs in particular, and it's the same thing. I think it's just because there's less surface that's contacting the surface of my legs or feet, or even my upper body, and it's less of that. When there's less surface kind of rubbing against a second surface, there will be less friction. I'm not quite sure how that, yeah, I guess that's how it works. It's a little confusing to me, because your fingernails are really a tiny surface, and if your fingernails are just moving soap on your legs, you might think they wouldn't move much soap, but I think it works pretty well. But mostly it's with the soap bar, like I showed you with the edge. Sometimes the underarms can catch the edge. And as long as I'm doing this video, this isn't exactly the same, but most of my life I would put on deodorant with the stripe, with the deodorant turned kind of, I guess, perpendicular. Well, it's getting on with the gosh, I don't know what the words are. The bar of deodorant anyway is perpendicular to the arm, but sometimes when I grab the deodorant, I found that I grab it naturally like that, so I'll just put it on where the bar is kind of lined up in the same line. That's just more comfortable for my hand. I can't say that I chafe more one way or the other. But it just saves me, if I've grabbed it like that, it saves me having to move the thing around in my hand. So those are a couple of ideas for you. It's mainly about comfort. Would you clean better if it had felt better physically? I think it's possible. At any rate, I hope that helps. Hi guys. Yeah, one thing I should have added is that I do the edge thing I just described, but there are times when I would use the broad face of the soap. It's kind of a feel thing. If it feels like it'll feel nicer with the broad face, I'd use that. If it's better with the edge, I'll use that. I don't know. Generally I've used this long edge, but I suppose there might even be times to use this shorter edge. I may play with that. But I didn't want to leave the impression that I only do it with the edge of the bar. I might also add, I had mentioned that I might have started doing this because I got a little older and my skin got more sensitive. But it might not be that my skin got physically more sensitive. It might just be that as I spent more years showering, I just got more tuned into my body and the details of how my body feels. And I realized that this edge use of soap felt nicer. It does for the moment. I mean, with lots of these ideas, I do it one way for a while, and then maybe I might go back to the original way because that might feel better for a while. It's very flexible. But since I hadn't used the edge before for most of my life, and I'm 60, I thought maybe other people might not have thought of it, so I'm giving you the idea here.